I had no idea, but in 2010, he drew Lady Deadpool, and at the same time, I was cast in the Green Lantern with my now husband, who is not my husband then.
Okay.
The timeline.
Buckle up, besties, because Hollywood tea is hotter than ever, and it's about to spill on your TV. Are you ready for this? Marvel, the powerhouse studio that everyone wants to work with, has just done the inconceivable. They filed a lawsuit against Ryan Reynolds. Sounds insane, right? The man who literally resurrected Deadpool, turned him into a global phenomenon, and became the internet's favorite snarky Canadian? Well, he's indeed. But wait, because there's more. This whole mess doesn't just revolve around Ryan. There's another A-list name tangled up in the drama. His equally famous, impossibly stylish wife, Blake Lively. Once Hollywood's golden girl, she was practically the peanut butter to Ryan's comedic jelly. But now, she's at the heart of a controversy so messy, so scandalous, that it's making Marvel lose their ever-loving minds. So what exactly is going down? What did Ryan do? What didn't Blake do? And how did this all spiral from hushed whispers to full-blown see-you-in-court drama? Stick with me, babe, because I'm about to break it all down. The cryptic messages, the backstabbing, and the Hollywood PR nightmare that's unfolding in real time. But real quick, do me a solid and smash that subscribe button, because these A-listers keep serving up drama. And trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. All right, let's dive in. So the internet broke when news dropped that Marvel, yes, the studio that rarely airs its dirty laundry, actually filed official legal action against Ryan freaking Reynolds. For months, stories had circulated about tensions behind the scenes, but no one expected it to reach this level. Yet here we are, Marvel, gloves off, lawyers ready to fight in court. Now, if you know anything about Marvel, you know they despise public courtroom dramas. They normally address their problems behind closed doors, keeping the brand pristine. But would they seriously sue one of their biggest stars? That suggests that things have seriously gotten off track. So, how did we arrive here? How did a minor Hollywood feud develop into a full-fledged legal brawl? Well, darling, it's a combination of Ryan, Blake, and Marvel's need to defend their golden empire. And let me give you the backstory. It is wild. To comprehend this lawsuit, we must first go back in time to Blake Lively and a small film project that began with great promise. This wasn't just any project. It was a highly anticipated adaptation led by Justin Baldoni, who was pulling triple duty as director, co-writer, and star. Basically, the guy was doing everything but handing out snacks at craft services. At first, it was all rainbows and butterflies. Blake was glowing on set, Justin was singing her praises in interviews, and the media was eating it up. But then, the whispers started. People on set claimed Blake wasn't exactly loving the dynamic. Word was, she felt overshadowed, which honestly isn't surprising when your co-star is also your boss, your writer, and your director. At first, it was just quiet industry gossip. After all, Hollywood sets aren't exactly known for being stress-free. But then, things got ugly. Blake allegedly accused Justin of orchestrating a smear campaign against her, spreading rumors that she was difficult, demanding, and obsessed with getting top billing. And for a minute, the internet was on her side. I mean, let's be real. Female leads do get dragged through the mud for things that male leads get praised for. The narrative was practically writing itself. Another male director playing puppet master behind the scenes. But oh honey, did the plot twist hit hard? Because Justin? He didn't just deny it. He clapped back in the most 2020s way possible by dropping receipts. And not just any receipts. We're talking text messages, dropped like the final twist in a murder mystery. And trust me, it only gets wilder from here.
This morning I sent a text message to my best friend Jamie and the president of my company, Tara. And I told them that
The unfiltered receipts? Oh, they didn't just expose Blake. They practically pointed fingers, shined a spotlight, and handed her the mastermind crown. Suddenly, Justin wasn't looking like the villain of this story. No, the real puppet master? Quite possibly Miss Lively herself. These leaked messages painted a different picture, one where Blake wasn't just dropping hints, but outright flexing her influence. She name-dropped power players, made it crystal clear she had connections, and in a move that could be either legendary or terrifying, referred to her inner circle as dragons. Yeah, dragons. Let that sink in. And here's where things get even messier, because if she was pulling strings, who else was tangled in her web? fans started side-eyeing Ryan Reynolds. Yep, that Ryan Reynolds. Hollywood's golden boy, Marvel's wisecracking anti-hero, and the man behind the billion-dollar Deadpool franchise. Now, if Blake was really calling in favors, leaning on Ryan's clout to sway the press or control the narrative, what did that mean for the bigger picture? Could Marvel itself be feeling the heat? At this point, the rumor mill was spinning so fast it could power half of LA and Marvel. Oh, they were paying very close attention. Because here's the deal. Ryan isn't just another A-list actor in their roster. He is Marvel's R-rated cash cow, the face of their most unfiltered, irreverent character. And while Deadpool was meant to bring chaos on screen, the last thing Marvel wanted was real-life drama creeping into their billion-dollar empire. So behind the scenes, Marvel execs were reportedly not thrilled. The whispers started, conversations were had, and the underlying concern? If even a fraction of these manipulative PR tactics were real, Ryan's beloved internet dad persona could take a serious hit. Because let's be honest, if people ever suspected Ryan was coordinating sleazy backdoor transactions while cracking jokes on Twitter, that charm would curdle real fast. And his response? Silence. Total radio silence. For a guy who practically lives for caustic tweets and meme-worthy clapbacks, his failure to recognize the situation spoke loudly. It wasn't just an absence of words, it seemed like a deliberately calculated maneuver. And honey, where there's smoke, there's fire. But before we get farther into this hot tea, press that subscribe button, because trust me, this rabbit hole, oh, it goes deep, and you do not want to miss the next twist. Now, in classic Hollywood form, things escalated swiftly. More leaks dropped, and this time, they weren't only about Blake. Suddenly, Ryan's name was being directly tied to the controversy. There were whispers, allegations that he had encouraged specific media outlets, influenced script changes, maybe even played a role in making sure Justin faced a PR disaster. And then, boom, the real bombshell hit. Blake's high-powered attorney, one of those top-tier, untouchable Hollywood sharks, walked out, not quietly, not behind closed doors. No, they made a public exit, complete with a statement that all but blamed Blake directly. And if you know anything about Hollywood, you know this is practically unheard of. Big-time lawyers do not just abandon A-list clients. And when they do, they sure as hell don't throw shade on the way out. So what did that mean? Well, let's just say, whatever was going on behind closed doors, it was messier than we ever could have imagined.
No, I wish Taylor. You know, if I ever stopped, she'd make good Deadpool. funny.
Are there cameos?
Suddenly, the internet exploded with speculation. If Blake's own lawyer wasn't willing to defend her, just how damning were these text messages and phone records that no one had even seen yet? And of course, that question led straight to Ryan. Was he the brains behind this mess, or was he just an unlucky bystander caught in the crossfire? And if he was involved, what did that indicate for his relationship with Marvel? Would people still trust him? Would they want to? Behind the scenes, Marvel was in full-blown panic mode. Rumors were spreading that top execs, including Kevin Feige himself, were engaged in emergency meetings, wondering whether having Ryan on board was even worth the potential PR nightmare. Because let's be real, fans love Deadpool for his outrageous fourth-wall-breaking humor. He's the chaotic anti-hero who thrives on being a little too much. But there's a huge difference between fictional trouble and real-life corporate sabotage. And then Marvel did something almost unheard of. They went public. They didn't just quietly cut ties. They didn't sweep it under the rug. Nope, they took legal action. Their official statement was carefully worded, something about breach of contract and reputational damage. But it didn't take a genius to read between the lines. This wasn't just a slap on the wrist. This was Marvel sending a loud and clear message. They were willing to take down the very man who helped them turn Deadpool into an R-rated box office juggernaut. The actor who defined the merc with a mouth? Yeah, they were suing him. And that, my friends, was when the fandom imploded. Because Deadpool isn't just a character, he's a phenomenon. He's a fan favorite, a cultural icon. So when the possibility of Ryan being forced out started looking very real, the internet lost its mind.
Well, Hugh and I both at the get-go, we were like, we're going to do everything. We love the movie more than life itself. It's both of our favorite movies we've ever done. So we said, let's get it just as slutty as possible with the promo.
Recast? Blacklisted? The mere whispers of those words sent Twitter, Reddit, and every corner of the internet into meltdown mode. Some fans were outraged, calling Marvel's reaction an overreach. Maybe they'd been looking for an excuse to distance themselves from Deadpool's R-rated, no-holds-barred style for a while now. Others weren't buying it. Marvel wouldn't sabotage its own billion-dollar machine unless they felt truly betrayed. The debate ignited like wildfire. Was Ryan being thrown under the bus? Or was Marvel making a calculated move to cut out the problem before it infected the entire cinematic universe? Let's face it, Marvel has witnessed everything. Actor tantrums, headline scandals, and tumultuous contract discussions. A full-fledged lawsuit, though? That is a completely different animal. Marvel must have been highly confident or desperately backed into a corner for them to take such a bold action. Perhaps a little of both. And as all of this mayhem was going on, Justin Baldoni simply continued to work on his movie. No insults on social media or sarcastic remarks. Instead, Justin coolly provided the full text threads for complete context when Blake or her team attempted to dominate the narrative by releasing partial screenshots. And the manner in which he discussed the matter. Nor resentful, nor vindictive, just sorry. As if, knowing that several careers were now in danger of igniting, he had never wanted things to go this bad. He referred to the disaster as a cautionary tale, a warning about the consequences of star power colliding with ulterior motives. But let's not kid ourselves. His neutrality is now a huge factor in Marvel's case. The uncut texts he provided, they're evidence. And if they show Ryan crossed a contractual line, that could mean serious trouble. And speaking of trouble, the speculation machine went into overdrive. Legal experts started throwing around possibilities. Breach of contract? Maybe Ryan's deal had a strict, no negative PR clause to protect the Marvel brand. Defamation or extortion. If he threatened Marvel with fan backlash to strong-arm creative control, that could be seen as blackmail. Moral turpitude, a fancy legal way of saying, act like a jerk and we have the right to fire you. And Marvel's official statement, all about brand integrity. Deadpool can be loud, crude, and chaotic on screen, but behind the scenes, Marvel expects professionalism. If Ryan broke that unspoken rule, well, it's no wonder they acted fast. So where's our wisecracking, fourth wall-breaking merc with a mouth in all this? Silent, no sassy tweets, no, oops, did I just get sued? Jokes, no passive-aggressive digs, nothing. Word on the street? He's been holed up in legal meetings, scrambling to figure out if this can be settled privately, or if he's about to go to war in court. Some say a public apology might help. Others warn it could be a disaster, admitting guilt, especially if Marvel's evidence is worse than we think. Right now, the tension is thicker than a triple-shot espresso, and Ryan's entire brand is hanging by a thread. Because here's the real danger. Ryan Reynolds' entire public persona is built on authenticity, or at least the illusion of it. If fans start believing that the friendly, self-aware, joke-cracking guy is actually a Hollywood bully manipulating the narrative behind the scenes, that reputation crumbles faster than a poorly baked souffle. And as for Blake, let's just say the internet's not on her side.
Will we maybe see a Deadpool 4?
Oh God, no. My wife and children will divorce me, and
The kids will divorce you?
I have no prenup with any of them.
Her power struggles with Justin Baldoni behind the scenes probably prompted Marvel to look into Ryan's involvement in greater detail, like taking a sweater apart thread by thread. Fans are suddenly claiming that Ryan is in trouble because of you, Blake, or that she is the puppet master using his brand to punish her enemies. Some argue it's oversimplified, pointing out that Ryan is an adult who is capable of making his own choices. Nevertheless, Blake's once luminous aura has unquestionably been damaged. If these accusations turn out to be accurate, directors are reportedly reluctant to cast her. When things don't go their way, no one wants a celebrity on site who might start a public relations battle. The rest of the industry, meanwhile, is terrified that this will come back to haunt them. From cell phone services to gin, Ryan has endorsements. Those businesses are likely preparing their "we do not condone such behavior" statements just in case.
To try and destroy Justin. There's a number of different defendants here. Stephanie Jones will be all over this complaint. That is the PR agent.
Ryan's future production deals are probably on hold. After investing millions of dollars in a movie, no one wants its main celebrity to be mired in court appearances and depositions. Imagine the uproar if the trial details leak or if the Marvel suit gets larger. Marvel's strategy is currently being examined by Hollywood insiders. They may do it thoroughly if they're using the major legal weaponry. This entails depositions from executives, crew members, and sometimes even individuals close to Ryan or Blake personally. The tabloids will be eating out for months if those depositions are made public. Remember that Deadpool was scheduled to make appearances in a number of Marvel crossovers, bridging the gap between the more PG-13 Avengers audience and the humorous R-rated approach. Rumor has it that those plans have now been put on hold. According to some insiders, Marvel may completely revamp the idea, possibly recasting Deadpool or reducing his role until the litigation is resolved. Tom Holland, Chris Hemsworth, Brie Larson, and other beloved members of the Marvel cast are remaining silent. Some have quietly voiced their sorrow that Ryan, a coworker they admire, is now at war with the studio. A not my circus, not my monkey attitude is being adopted by others. However, recasting Ryan might be disastrous for Marvel's finances.
It's not going to be good.
Yeah,
you go, we had a blast.
You review the budget, and you're like, what's miscellaneous? And you find out later, oh, that was cocaine. So like, oh, okay.
Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds are like two sides of the same coin. So much so that imagining someone else in that red suit feels almost impossible. Could the character even survive without Ryan? Some say no. Others argue that if Marvel has swapped out major actors before, like Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle or Edward Norton to Mark Ruffalo, fans would eventually adjust. But here's the catch. Deadpool isn't just any superhero. Ryan and the character have a comedic chemistry that feels irreplaceable. Their blend of humor, wit, and fourth wall-breaking madness is what fans love. Hollywood thrives on secret settlements, but is Marvel above that? That's the million-dollar question. Now, if the accusations against Ryan are serious, like if he really tried to pressure Marvel using his fan base, then the studio might want to make an example out of him. A strong public statement that says no star is bigger than the brand. But from Ryan's perspective, a quiet settlement could be his best bet to protect his reputation. Because things may get extremely bad if this gets out of hand, and we start seeing depositions, emails that have been leaked, and lawyers leaving the case. Furthermore, let's face it, Ryan does not want to be involved in another scandal that makes headlines. What comes next then? Do they bury the drama and shake hands behind closed doors? Or do they bring it before the court, releasing a display so powerful that not even the Infinity Gauntlet could break it? Right now, honey, it's 50-50 dot. Supporters of Team Ryan argue that he is being used as a scapegoat, but it's possible that Marvel is simply tired of Deadpool's edginess. Others support Marvel, arguing that a company of that size wouldn't file a lawsuit without solid proof. Meanwhile, conspiracy ideas are floated by some enthusiasts. For example, the lawsuit itself may be a media gimmick for a larger Deadpool marketing move. There is no denying that distrust and uncertainty have supplanted the humorous vibes that previously enveloped Ryan and Deadpool. Will this result in a spectacular comedic comeback where Ryan comes out claiming it was all a misunderstanding? Or are we seeing the downfall of a comedy titan?
Are there cameos?
There are surprises. I would say that the folks that do show up in the movie that somehow, I have no idea how we've managed to keep it secret, given the internet.
Now, let's loop back to the man who unknowingly tipped this entire domino chain, Justin Baldoni. While the internet is in flames, Justin? Well, he's just out here, wrapping up his passion project, seemingly unfazed. Except for the tidal wave of media attention he never signed up for. And let's be real, this movie just became a must-watch. Not for its story, not for the performances, but for one burning question. Is this the film that sparked a full-blown Hollywood meltdown between Blake Lively and Marvel's untouchable golden boy? Through it all, Justin is staying cool. His response? Just dropping the full, unfiltered text messages whenever a cropped version tries to twist the narrative. Some insiders even whisper that this whole scandal could actually boost his status as a director. Because guess what? We're all talking about him now. Free publicity at its finest. But let's not kid ourselves. He probably would have preferred a drama-free rise to fame. Now, if Marvel really goes all in on this legal battle, we're looking at subpoenas flying left and right. Phone logs, emails, Slack messages, voice memos, nothing's off the table. And if they start combing through Ryan's conversations, oh boy, could they unearth something damning? Maybe evidence that Ryan pressured the studio with the threat of bad press? Or that Blake used her Hollywood influence to pull strings behind the scenes? Because if they do, that's it. Game over. The clean-cut, wisecracking, lovable Ryan Reynolds we all know? Gone. But let's flip the script. If Marvel's case turns out to be a whole lot of nothing, Ryan could walk away more powerful than ever. Marvel would be forced to retreat, maybe settle, and let him keep his beloved Deadpool suit. In that case, expect a well-polished press release, something like, "Creative differences resolved." Just a misunderstanding over dinner at some overpriced LA steakhouse. But here's the bigger picture. Marvel plans its cinematic universe like a chess grandmaster years in advance. Deadpool wasn't just another character. He was supposed to crash into the Avengers, hijack cameos, turn serious moments into meme-worthy chaos. Now, that entire roadmap might be shredded. Could they just retire Deadpool? Fans would riot. Could they recast him? Fans would riot harder. Or does Marvel find a way to rein in Ryan, keeping him on a tighter leash, limiting how he interacts with the brand? Either way, one thing is crystal clear. This is bigger than just a Hollywood spat. This could reshape the entire future of the MCU. And trust me, you're gonna wanna keep watching.
So, wow. What was crazy about this one was it was the best filming experience I've ever had. You know, working with basically, Q and I, what you see is what you get, genuinely.
Either way, there's a lot of strain on their creative planning. The criticism of Blake has come in waves. She was once known as the Golden Girl, a favorite on the red carpet, and praised for her hilarious interactions with Ryan, excellent parenting, and other things. Fans and business insiders are currently closely examining everything she does as her former attorney publicly attacks her. She may have trouble landing parts in the future if the Marvel lawsuit reveals that she was a major contributor to any dubious tactics. Producers loathe celebrity disputes that could turn into media feuds, while filmmakers dislike drama that takes attention away from their films. But Hollywood also likes a good redemption story. She might get better eventually if Blake apologizes sincerely, or if the facts of the case demonstrate that she was only caught in the middle. Fans are questioning if Ryan's humorous persona will be irreparably damaged in the interim. Will actual events overshadow Deadpool's next film? Or will we see a triumphant return with new jokes about Marvel's lawsuit woven into the script? Deadpool is known for his meta humor, after all. Although it has a lot of will they or won't they intensity, we're talking about a studio actor, not star-crossed lovers. This crisis may overshadow all of Marvel's upcoming releases if a resolution is not found soon. Rather than controversy, the brand thrives on enthusiasm and hope. Darling, another quick call to action. I have something to tell you, Bessie.
I mean, look, most of the time when the movie is this much fun to make, you up bad.
We're just getting started. So if you think this tea is hot, click the subscribe button now. As you know, I don't falsify my sources. One important lesson is that even a top-tier Marvel star, who was instrumental in bringing a cherished brand back to life, could be fired if the studio feels they pose a threat. For any other actor or creative who believes they are untouchable because of their massive following on social media, this is a blaring warning message. This disaster also highlights how delicate it is to combine brand negotiations with personal ties. Did Blake's confrontation with Justin Baldoni really start a domino effect that revealed dubious practices in Ryan's interactions with Marvel? That's how an unanticipated effect is defined in textbooks. Hollywood fans are virtually chowing down on popcorn as they wait to see if any more well-known figures will comment. Would other Marvel celebrities stand up and support Ryan or criticize him? Most likely not. Nobody wants to get involved in a case that is as enjoyable as a root canal or irritate the studio that pays them. According to Marvel's statement, recently acquired evidence suggested a contract violation and damage to the company's reputation. Although the specifics of that material are now kept secret, you can be sure that the tabloids are hammering away at every available avenue to learn the precise contents of those classified records.
Used his power and influence to not only help Blake Lively take over this movie, but, he's used it, on Deadpool to make